Welcome to my Lincoln City versus Oldham Athletic FA Cup second round review. So I had a preview yesterday, you can go check that out in the description. I was quite wrong, I thought Oldham would win, but I was right on some things. I said that we would concede a goal from an individual error, a stupid goal, when we actually conceded two, maybe three of them. But I have to say credit to Lincoln, they played well, and I'm not really going to be talking about the match much, more about what the fans' reaction is. But I think Lincoln definitely deserves to go through, hope they do well in the cup. But the fact that it's a shock, the media was saying it's not a shock. It would be more of a shock if we'd battered them 5-0 than us losing 3-2. The websites are branding it as a shock so they can get a bit of advertising revenue from people in other countries who don't really watch football or whatever. But what I see a lot of people say Robinson out, but who do you sign? Who do you replace? People are saying, well, we sacked Dunn and signed Sheridan last season. That's because Connie probably already had it lined up, but would have kept Dunn because he was doing okay, But I'm going to look at some stats here. So Oldham have conceded in the league, let's have a look, 21 goals, and they're 23rd in the table. Shrewsbury have conceded 34, Chesterfield 34, Coventry 25, Bury 38, Milton Keynes 30. So you can see Coventry are quite close to Oldham in the terms of goals conceded, but Oldham have the defensive record of a top 8 team. I'll read out the top 8 for goals conceded. Scunthorpe 17, Bolton 12, Sheffield 22, Bradford 18, Rochdale 25, Peterborough 21, Wimbledon 24, Fleetwood 26. Now I'm not saying we should be top 6 or top 8, right? I'm not saying we should be, but the goals, we've scored 11 goals in the league this season out of 19 games, which is awful, right? And people are making out that it's a really, really big problem, that it can't be saved. But I think realistically it can. If we had Curtis Main from the start of the season, I know obviously he signed for Portsmouth and whatever, but if we did have him, we'd be much better off. You think about it. If obviously we have a game in hand, let's just say we beat Peterborough, if that game went ahead, we'd be 20th and Bury would slip down on goal difference. And just think about the extra maybe 4 or 5 points, where we'd be in the table. Well, we'd have 24 points. We'd be in 18th, a bit above the relegation zone. I think the fact of saying we need this, we need that, we need a new 11, it's a bit over the top defensively, although some players might be shocking, like Record was yesterday. In fact, most of the defence was shocking yesterday. But for the whole season, if you look at Clarke, he's had a really good season. Ripley's amazing season, one of the best keepers. From what I've been told by fans who've watched them for many years, one of the best keepers that Oldham have had in recent years. But it's just going forward, and if you don't score goals, you won't win games. You don't win games, you don't survive in the league. Obviously, there's the transfer embargo, and if that gets lifted with them paying the loan fees or paying the clubs or whatever needs to be done, will there be money to buy someone? That's the question. Going back to what I said before about Robinson, people saying Robinson out, who'd you bring in? Last season we sacked Darren Kelly. We brought in David Dunn because he'd done some of his badges, coaching badges. We just brought him in because it was cheaper than paying someone the same, bringing someone else in from outside and paying Dunn's wages. It was just cheaper. But who would want the job? Who would come to Oldham now? If we sacked Robinson now, I'm recording this on the 6th of December. Why would you want to come to Oldham when the 23rd in the league, they can't score goals, we've got no money to buy players, and they're under a transfer embargo? Don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to do that. Who else would? and that's what you've got to think. Who else would you bring in if you sacked Robinson? Probably Paul Green would probably get the job if he's done his badges, because that's the cheap option. Because I don't know if the transfer embargo actually affects signing a manager. If someone could tell me, if anyone knows about the rules as to whether that would affect it. But I think there has been an overreaction by fans in the way that we're going to get relegated to the National League North. It's like, no, I don't think that could happen. But I think they're right to be worried, and I am worried, of course, that we might get relegated to League 2, obviously. But as I said, if you forget about the transfer embargo, say Corny pays it off, potentially a new signing could change the season, and that's what you've got to try and hold on to. And we've just got to hope that 4 teams are worse than us. Shrewsbury always look like they could be propping us up. Chesterfield, Coventry, even Bury maybe. You know, they were second in September. They thought they were going to get promoted to Championship, and now, literally, they are above the relegation zone, just on basically goal difference and the fact that the Oldham have a game in hand. If say Oldham did win the Peterborough game 1-0, Bury would be in the relegation zone. But you know, if you are don't dislike the video if you disagree with me. Comment below, tweet me, whatever, and just let me know what you think. Because just because I say it doesn't mean it's going to happen. If I say Man United are going to get relegated to League 2 within 4 seasons, doesn't mean it's going to be true, is it? Don't mean it's going to happen. And yeah, just leave your thoughts on whatever below. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in another match preview or review if I do any more of these.